I was greeted by some excited beings in my Akashic record reading room one summer day while I was preparing to do some research. These beings were jumping up and down, clapping and cheering. Some of them were even climbing up the golden columns of the Akashic record hall and seemed to be throwing something that appeared to be glitter or confetti. They were a lot of fun, and I couldn't help but smile while interacting with them. Although this introduction did catch me off guard somewhat, one of the beings walked right up to me, shook my hand, and said, "We've been waiting to meet you." I noticed something dark behind this friendly being. "What's that?" I asked, a bit alarmed, concerned it could be some sort of negative entity attachment or something. "Oh, that's just my shadow," the being replied nonchalantly. I let it go because this level of immediate relatability was not typical when meeting a new alien race. I figured I'd learn more about that shadow later. Let me introduce you to the Porrimas, a previously unknown alien race that lights up a room in more ways than one. Hello and welcome back to the channel. My name is Erin. Today we're going to talk about a very benevolent, sweet, and amusing alien race. Despite their relatively high-dimensional society, they are very down-to-earth. These beings hail from the Virgo Constellation. They are constellation neighbors to the blue avian race, the Syrmas, which I covered about 5 weeks ago. A link to that video will be below. The ET race call Gamma Virginis home. This star also has an Arabic name of Porrima, which the beings prefer to be called. While astronomers call Porrima a binary star, meaning there are two separate stars within that system, the Porrimas inform me that they are one planet and not two. The other is another planet with life forms that I have yet to meet at the time of this recording. The beings that inhabit this planet are small, about 2 feet or 61 centimeters tall. They are a blue race. And please note, they're one of the most common, if not the most common alien species skin color in our universe is blue. We'll be meeting many blue-hued ET races in this series. Porrima beings are hairless with smooth skin. I wouldn't call them a humanoid race, although they do walk upright and have 2 arms and 2 legs. Their bodies are stocky with short legs and a stubby tail in the back. Their necks are wide, and their round heads contain a large bulbous nose and thin-lipped wide mouth. They only have holes on each side of their heads for ears. Porrimas have 2 4-inch or 10-centimeter in height antennas at the top of their head. Each antenna has a large round eye on top. They have solid green eyes, no whites on the eyes or pupils like we do. This detached eye design allows the Porrimas to see all around them and use their eyes kind of like a periscope, like was used in our submarines. So this lets them see what's there while hiding their bodies. Their hands and feet have 4 fingers and 4 toes each, and I don't see any sharp teeth or claws on these beings. Nonetheless, they can easily climb things such as columns and trees. The only differences I can observe between a male Porrima and a female is size. The females are a bit smaller in stature. The most striking thing about these beings is they have a light that comes from within them. It's not a terribly bright light, but these beings are their own light source, and as a result, they kind of cast this dark blue shadow behind them. Coded in their DNA, the Porrimas have special receptors in their bodies that take the energy naturally present in the ether or atmosphere, and these receptors then take this energy and change it into power that's expressed as a light. So these beings don't wear clothes, as they don't want to cover up their light. And the Porrima beings' light is needed to light their world. Therefore, they need a certain population always living on their planet. And this diffused body light is always on and is present from birth onwards and is only distinguished upon the end of life. Porrimas love to laugh and seem to really enjoy life. They are exuberant and kind. I really like them. This is a group with no known enemies. The Porrimas say, "We love everyone." Despite their obvious advancement over us on Earth, they feel grounded. This alien race is industrious, and I often see them working together to create or build something. They don't experience a division in their society like we would on our world. This is probably why they get so much done in a short amount of time. Porrimas generally focus on the tangible aspects of life while still holding on to that knowledge of the spiritual. Porrima is in a section of the Virgo constellation where there are no suns. It's quite dark in that corner of the constellation. So as a result, these beings who inhabit Porrima are their own sun, meaning their bodies themselves create the sunlight in their world. This is why they have a light emanating from themselves. Due to this muted brightness on their planet, the Porrimas do not like bright lights, and their eyes are accustomed to seeing in darkness or low light environments. Planet Porrima does not also have any visible moons. Porrima is currently in the 9th dimension, much like the beings themselves. Their environment is very blue. Their world is relatively flat with no tall mountain ranges. It's a very walkable planet, very kind of easy to get around. The ground cover looks like a type of cobalt blue grass. And there are smooth gray or brown bark deciduous trees. And the trees don't appear ancient like on some other realms I've visited. And they look to kind of be younger trees. And some trees will have small white, purple, yellow, or pink flowers amongst these green leaves. The climate seems to be warm, but not hot. And it does rain a lot there, and it's somewhat humid. The foliage is not tropical because they don't have sunlight or intense heat along with the humidity. There are patches of tall, bright green grass forests. These grasses look like to be a combination between like bamboo or like dense cornfields without the actual corn. These grasses are much taller than they are, and the Porrimas like to run around in these densely packed yet movable vegetation forests for fun. They are running around in these forests and I couldn't see them, and then they'd poke their heads out from the grasses. While they weren't running from me or teasing me, just kind of showing me their world with pride and what they like to do for fun, just kind of showing me how fun and light they are. And their sky is not bright because there is no sun, but it's deep blue in color with ribbons of pink throughout. Porrimas live in a circular-shaped dwellings that are raised off the ground. They have a front door that folds down to steps that lead into or out of the house. Their homes remind me of those Futuro houses that were small, prefabricated kind of UFO-styled homes that were built in the 1960s. Instead of a series of round or oval-shaped windows found in the Futuro homes, there is a continuous narrow strip of window all around the structure. A dim yellow light comes from that window strip. Like the Futuro homes, the Porrima dwellings do come in a variety of colors. However, the Porrimas prefer to match their house colors to the natural environment and not stand out. The Porrima homes have a short antenna that comes out from the center of the structure, and this captures the energy needed from the atmosphere to power the house, so there are no electric bills on Porrima. Inside their homes is very simple. They don't have a lot of stuff or material things, so they don't need that much room for storage. Everything they need is found outside in nature. There are places to sleep, and rainwater is diverted into a running water system into these homes. I see a place to bathe themselves, but no kitchens or refrigerators. Their dwellings are used for sleep, shelter, and for spending time with their families, and that's pretty much it. The rest of their time they are outside. These beings live in multi-generational housing areas, meaning many family members will live together. They even put these circular homes together to create more living space for the family as the family grows. The Porrimas mate for life and have children. This maintaining of the familial lines is important in their culture because all the surviving generations live together. If mates were to change, then it would mess with the generational living situation. The females will go and reside with their male mate's family line. It is possible for the male to go live with the female's family line, but it's highly unusual in their culture. The mated pairs will often have many offspring. As I alluded to this earlier, it is important that they procreate because the beings themselves keep the planet lit up. Furthermore, there needs to be enough males and females to create the next generations and not have too many of one gender and not enough of another. If the population declines too much or ceases to procreate, their very world could plunge into complete darkness and be destroyed. There are no cities or densely populated areas on Porrima. Everyone seems to be spread out evenly, and there's ample space. They are an alien race that prefers to live in a more organic way, utilizing what is naturally provided on their planet. They tell me everything we do must complement or support nature. Interestingly, for such a high-dimensional and earthy race, they actually don't use crystals that much. These beings do not need jobs or have careers. Their focus is on their families and the good of their planet, and not earning a salary. So if someone in their community needs help because, for example, say their house got damaged because a tree fell on it, then those who know how to do the repair will go in and fix it. If someone wants to learn how to do healing, then they would simply ask a Porrima being with expertise in that area to mentor them. There's a free flow of information and a reciprocal assistance throughout their population. Once the idea of scarcity is taken away, it really changes societal outlooks and behavior. The need to lie or manipulate others simply goes away. While they do get things done on their world, they are not lazy. Porrima beings do have a fair amount of free time. They enjoy exploring their world and nature. And I see young Porrimas running around, laughing, chasing each other. I see them chasing after butterfly-like creatures and climbing trees. I see them using the long leaves from their bamboo forest to weave ornate rugs and sleeping mats. It's like they've created an art form out of it. And some of these mats are on the ground and others are hung from the air from trees, kind of like a hammock. There's lots of lounging around on these outside woven hammock-like structures. The planet is relaxing, and I'm told that it's a vacation destination for some of the other surrounding planetary beings. While there are bodies of water on the planet, the beings who live there are not keen on swimming in it. However, those vacationers will often be seen swimming in their waterways. There's no stress, and everyone's very kind to one another, whether it's just visiting there or local. Communities grow their own food. Everyone chips in to help cultivate the crops. Even without sunlight, there's enough plants that grow there to feed the planet's population and then some. They show themselves laying on the soil where they have planted the seeds to stimulate plant growth. It's as if their bodies work as the sun to provide nourishment to the environment besides simply providing light. Most of the food they grow to consume is also blue. Porrimas need to eat often, as their bodies need a lot of energy to produce the constant light output. Their food needs to be soft for them to consume it because they do not have any teeth. They do drink water and sometimes eat a mashed up, partially liquefied food source. Overall, the Porrimas are quite healthy, with an average lifespan of 325 linear years. They do not hunt or eat the animals that live on the planet with them. Despite their love of the natural world and their reluctance to rely on technology, the Porrimas do have spaceships or UFOs. Their ships are unique from the others that I have seen so far. Their ships are made of 8 different detachable flattened spheres, like the shape of their dwellings. All of these spheres are smooth and windowless and are light blue in color. There is one larger sphere in the center, and that's the command hub of the ship cluster. Around the command hub are 7 other smaller, light blue flattened spheres. They are placed in a wheel pattern and are connected by a light tether that glows white. This light connector can be detached, and the 7 smaller auxiliary crafts can then fly separately. The Porrima ships are very low profile and can sneak around undetected compared to other types of crafts. When the light tether is connected and all 8 spheres are connected, the crafts move up and down in tandem, much like a wheel in the sky. This UFO spins clockwise to rise, increasing in altitude, and rotates counterclockwise to lower its altitude. I'm told that the Porrimas generally don't enter our airspace with their ships and focus on other intergalactic travel. Beyond these unique crafts and their ability to get power for their world from the atmosphere, there's not really any other technology the Porrimas use. As a group, they tend to shun technology and they lean into what the environment automatically provides. The Porrimas tell me, all life can be sustained by what's already present in any world, and you simply just have to know how to use it correctly. This planet already has a large leadership group in place, which they are in the process of expanding even further. There are many more participating in the planetary governance at one time than any of the alien races I've seen. I'm shown perhaps hundreds of beings seated in a large room with different levels of stadium-style seating, and they're having discussions and they're making decisions together amicably. Their governance is loose, and it's not like infringing on the daily lives of those who live there. It seems as though these leaders only meet when that's necessary, and it's not very often when they do meet. I liken their leadership to somewhat like the United States House of Representatives, as someone who lives in a section of a planet will volunteer to be a representative of that location. However, there's no political parties or partisan politics involved. The Porrimas want everyone to have an opportunity to be in a leadership position for a time. It's like they want everyone to have skin in the game as far as how the planet is run and be involved in running it. They said, the more Porrimas that get together, the brighter the light. They mean this both physically and metaphorically. Although currently in the 9th dimension, Porrimas have ascended and had their own struggles on their world. In the past, this race has had issues with how to govern themselves the best, and it's something they're still perfecting over time. And they're very concerned with two issues: maintaining balance and power on their world and maintaining optimal population numbers. While they do interact with other realms and play their part in keeping the balance on a larger scale within our universe. Porrimas admire the potential that Earth has and tell me that our planet is just as beautiful, if not more so, than their own world. They can understand what we on Earth are going through and look forward to the day when the Porrimas can meet those on Earth in the physical. They have many representatives from their planet currently incarnated on Earth, and they are watching this ascension very carefully. They tell me, although we look very different, we aren't so different from you. Perhaps it's these energetic similarities is why I can relate to Porrimas so easily. This is a cursory introduction to the Porrimas who call Gamma Virginis home. This race is only the second of many alien races located in the Virgo Constellation that I will be covering in this series. I hope you enjoyed learning about the grounded Porrimas. Any alien groups mentioned in this video that I've made videos about previously will be linked below in the show notes. I'd love to hear what you think in the comments. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more content like this, kindly subscribe to the channel and check out other videos highlighting other previously unknown alien races in our universe. Should you want to have your Akashic record read by me, the link to the website is below. In the meantime, I love you all and welcome to a higher dimension.